Hey guys, I hope y'all are doing well. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to actually talk about products that I've hit pan on. So everyone, you know, always is like, oh, I love this product, or oh, I finished this project up, but not everyone talks about what they've hit pan on. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that. I'll start with face products and then I'll end with eyeshadows, and since those are a little bit more common. So the first thing that I was going to talk about is, if you're in my project pan, then you'll know that I'm working on my Rimmel London Natural Bronzer. So I have started that one and I'm almost done. So I think at the end of the month, I'm going to have to, at the end of September, I'm going to have to repress this, and that way it's a little bit easier. But I love this bronzer. It's starting to show its age a little bit, but it's very similar to my Becca Sunlit Bronzer in Capri Coast. So, except for it's got a lot more shimmer to it. So if you don't like shimmer, then you wouldn't like this one. But I like it. It's pretty good. And then talking about bronzer, so this is my Sunkissed Giant Bronzer. So I've actually finished what's in here, and I've repressed in here some other products. So it looks terrible right now because it's like halfway through being pressed. But every time I get really close on a bronzer and I don't want to repress it, or it doesn't press well for face bronzer, I'll just use it as like my body bronzer. So sometimes if my foundation is too dark and I need to kind of blend it down my chest, then I will put those bronzers in here, or bronzers that just don't work, so then I can mix together them. So I used the very last bit of this. This is my Wet n Wild contouring palette, and it is completely empty. Yay! So I used the very last bit of that into here with a little bit of, this is the NYX Three Steps to Sculpt Face Sculpting Palette. And you can see I kind of dug in there a little bit, but this is very dark and very cool toned. So I put a little bit of this, a little bit of the shimmer, except for, because I wanted it to be a little bit of highlighty if it's going to be a body highlighter, but this is straight glitter. So oops. So I won't be doing that again, but well, yeah, see that? It's like straight glitter. So I won't be putting that in there again, but next time I'll show you another product that I'm going to mix in there so that I can try to get at least some more use out of that one. And so the other one that was in here was a under eye powder. So whenever it got to the very edges, I mixed it into this next one. This is my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and look at that pan. So whenever the very edges of this and the very edges of this were finishing up, I just pressed them into here. So I hit pan on this one, and this one, this one, and this one. So I ended up finishing those two and these two. And all that's left is what's in this little pan right here. So I really like this. Actually, I really liked all of them. I'm not too picky as far as under eye powder, except for I don't want it to be, it just can't be too dark. So I liked, and I've actually, if you can tell, I've hit little baby pan right there. So just realized that. But the Kat Von D powder and then this Wet n Wild powder was very pigmented. So if you have a concealer that just wasn't enough, it just wasn't covering enough, then those are good to, you know, have a little bit more, you know, coverage. This one, this NYX one, it was very sheer coverage, but it did the job. So I have repurchased this, the yellow one. I'm not sure which one it is because I've mixed them all together, but I think it was Lyric. I think I have repurchased that one, the yellow banana color, for my under eyes before. So I've been through two of those ones. So, but I think I would repurchase this Wet n Wild one over this because I think this, they sell the refills. So I want to say the refills are like over $10, like $10 to $15, where this whole palette is $5.49. So I would repurchase this over that one. We'll just go another under eye powder. is this Morphe contouring palette. And I finished both this one and this one. I got around, actually I got the edges around all 3 of these. So once I finished those, then I just repressed them all into here. So this, I'm gonna finish this Kat Von D powder, and then I'm gonna move to this one. So I'm just trying to use up some of these powders, like, cause I can't use the rest of these. I can use this just to set my eyeshadow, but this is, and then this one is just like, it's like a highlight, but it's really dark highlight. And then these other ones are actually either too dark or too cool tone, so they don't work for me. So once I am done with this, I am probably gonna repress this powder into here so that I can have, and then repress an under eye powder, and then a powder that's just too dark that I wanna use up to set my eyeshadow, so that way it's like easy access. And then I'll probably, what I was gonna do is under the Kat Von D palette, I'm gonna press this thing with some of this highlighter into this one, and then that way I can get rid of both of these palettes and get rid of some clutter in my makeup drawers. So, because this one's too dark, this one's too cool tone. I'm gonna finish this. So this is the only other color and that I can use, and I have a pretty good divot in there. So once I finish that, I can throw that away, and I'm just gonna consider that an empty. And then I can't use these ones, so I'll have 2 more palettes out of my collection. Isn't that so exciting? Ooh. And then I have, this is the Benefit Cheekathon, and I actually have 2 in here. So this is what this looks like. So we have the Hoola bronzer in here, and then we have the blush Coralista in here. And the Hoola bronzer is good. It does have, it doesn't pull too cool tone on me, but it does have a little bit of, my skin just pulls very cool tone with bronzers. So I have to get something that's almost like really, you know, bronzy or really orangey almost, or very yellow tone for it to work for me. So even though I have really fair skin, it's weird. I don't understand. And then I really like the color of this blush, the Coralista one, except for it's not very pigmented, so you have to build it up a lot. So that's why I did hit pan on here, because I have to build it up so much. So I'm gonna use these 2, and then I'm gonna, once I use those 2, I'm gonna try to get some use out of this one and this one. I'm just not gonna use this one very much, and I can't use that one's too dark. So once I've finished these 2, I may pop this one out and then get rid of this packaging. But I really like the Hoola bronzer. It's good. And then finally, the last face product that I have is my Becca Champagne Pop collection with Jaclyn Hill. And I hit pan, major pan, sorry, it's gonna be very reflective. I hit major pan on Champagne Pop, and then I have a really big divot into Prosecco Pop. So if I probably use this maybe like 10 more times, I'll probably hit pan on it. So, and I'm one of those people that I don't try to purposely hit pan. I like to like evenly use my product so that way I don't hit pan, because usually when it hits pan, it starts to like crumble and mess up, and I don't like repressing products because it usually changes the formula. So I try to avoid hitting pan, but I did on this one, and I've had this one for years, but it's just so good. And this is a full size, you know, highlighter from Becca, I'm pretty sure. Okay, sorry. Had to fix my hair there for a second. Okay, so next we'll move on to eyeshadows, and the first one that I have, from oldest to newest, is the Violet Voss and Laura Lee palette. Oops. And I've actually hit pan on 2 of these ones. So I've hit pan on Basic and Priss Pot. So those are just the clear, So that is just the cream shade to set your brow bone. And then I've used this one as a transition color. It's really light, even for my skin tone. So I had to build it up a lot. And then I would sometimes mix a little bit of Britches in there to kind of deepen up the crease. So, but I love this palette. Actually, my favorite color in this whole palette is this one, Fried. It's like this, what she called like a pukey brown. And it's, I don't know why. I love it. It's really good. I feel like this formula of Violet Voss was my favorite. I have yet to find another Violet Voss palette that had this caliber of eyeshadows. So, I don't know, there's something special in there, but I really liked that palette. And then I have this one's from Boxycharm. It is Blinc and Boxycharm collaboration, and that's what that looks like. And these eyeshadows are very soft. So I didn't completely finish this one. I'm trying not to blind you. On my own, some of it did crumble, but I think this one is Sphene. I never know how to do these. But every single one of these is very pigmented. So this is like a good palette to be your topper or to be your lid color, because they're very pigmented. I'll get you some swatches. That I panned was this one right here. So they're very reflective and they're very pigmented. I just tend to get these like little palettes lost in my collection. So when I do find them, or when I do find it, I like to use them. And then we have the Modern Renaissance by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Everyone knows this one. And surprisingly, the only color I've hit pan on is Burnt Orange, which is this one. This one's really close. What is this one? Raw Sienna. And then I have a really good divot in Tempera, the cream brow bone color. But this one, I love to use this one all over my, as my main transition color, and then I deepen up my transition color with this one because I like to mix cool tones and dark tone, because I like to mix cool tones and warm tones together. I think it gives a real cool effect and it gives more dimension. So I'll use this one, then this one. I'll use this as my brow bone, and then I'll use something like this or this all over the lid. And then if I need to deepen it up all in the corner, I usually use this one, and then, or sometimes I'll use that brown, but I love using this one, the red ochre, to give a really good kind of smoky sunset maroon vibes. So it's really good. I like it. And you guys probably already know. And then this is my Z palette. This is what I call my life palette. So I created all of these. I mean, I didn't create all these. I created this palette with a whole bunch of just miscellaneous things, and that's what that looks like. Sorry, some of the reflective ones are reflecting off the lights. So, side note, I ordered my ring light, so it should be in by my next, if not the next video, then the video after that. So hopefully you can see a difference. Let me know if you can see a difference. I'll let you know, hey, this is my first one with my ring light. So hopefully you can tell me if, well, I know anything will be better than the lighting that I have. So there's that. Okay, so all of these round ones are pretty much Colourpop. And then all of these like rectangular ones are Mary Kay. The ones that I've hit pan on, this one, and this one, they're all really old. They're from Beauty Control. So this actually came in a trio, and I just use that all the time. So I'd use this as my, main lid color. This is my highlight under my brow bone, and then I use this as eyeliner. This one did break some, so I did have to repress this a little bit, but those were my old school shadows. And then I did hit baby pan on this one right here. And that just happened the other day actually. And this one's from Colourpop. It is called Running Late, which is the story of my life, especially if you know me. I try so hard, but it just never works. So that was, I just had those 3, and then I just hit that one as well. Ones that I'm close on, this one down here, this one is Granite by Mary Kay. It's beautiful. And then this one is High Strung by Colourpop, and it is gorgeous. It's got a little bit of a pinky undertone. I'll just go ahead and swatch it for you. It's brown, but it's got a little bit, it's almost like a rose gold. That's how I would describe it. It's gorgeous. I love it. And then this one is like a silvery brown. My hair is getting caught in it. And it's just gorgeous all over the lid. Especially if you want, it's one of those colors, it's gonna pull warm or pull cool, whichever look you're going for. So if you have it with a whole bunch of, you know, warm tones, it's gonna pull a little bit more warm. Of course, it has silver undertones, so it's gonna be a little bit cool, but it'll work. But if you also put it with, you know, a bunch of cool tones, it really pops, and I absolutely love that one. And then I think that's it. I have a pretty good divot in this one. This one is Paper Tiger. So this is what I call my life palette. If I have to travel and I can't take any other palette, this is what I take. The only thing I'm really missing is a really good transition color. So I used to use a mixture of these two, but it still was really light. So sometimes I will still use these two, and I'll dip into this once. So I'll be like, and then I'll go in, and then I'll just deepen the crease with this one. Or if I'm using a cooler tone look, then I'll go in with this one. This is Mary Kay Sienna as more of a cool tone transition color. Okay. I actually have one more, but I'm actually gonna declutter this one because it is kind of dried up now. This is my Mary Kay Cream Eyeshadow in Iced Cocoa. And that little middle thing right there is clear, but it's the pan, and I used a lot of that, but it's just dried up now, so I have a brand new one. But I thought I'd just go ahead and show that because it is something else that I hit pan on. I'm just calling it quits on it. So putting it in my empties. This is my year-long makeup empties that you'll see in another video at the end of the year. But that's it. So I hope this was just something new, something different on my channel. I think I'm gonna go ahead and, depending on how this, you know, video goes, I'll just continue to, you know, hopefully hit pan on different products. And once I get enough for a video, then I'll just film another one. So it won't be any like set timeline or anything. It'll just be whenever I have enough products to make a video. So if this is something that you enjoy, definitely comment down below. Tell me what you've hit pan on recently. And don't forget to like and subscribe as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.